uh, enhancing your speaking abilities, leadership, communication, networking, and many more. And if this is your first hackathon, congratulations, you have made it very far, and hopefully, I'm congratulating you to win this hackathon as well. If not, this is the first step for your hackathon, and you will be really engaging in other hackathons very well, and you'll be able to make most of it in future. And I think that would sum it from me from now.
Yep. So now, Venkatesh, would you like to share your perspective? And one more thing, guys, this whole current discussion has been streaming on our YouTube channel, which has more than 33,000 people subscribed to it. So all of them might have got their notification, and currently we are live. All the YouTube participants who are still, like listening to us live right now. So we are having our three of the most valuable judges with us, and they are sharing their experiences. And their suggestions, tips, and tricks, and ninja techniques to how to win a particular hackathon and how to like develop ourselves in a hackathon. So that's when Vivek had shared a few pointers based upon the timings. So why we think that time is less, but the same time can be like productively utilized in developing features. So that's what Vivek had mentioned it up. So now we are looking for an answer from Venkatesh sir. The same questions, sir, experiences and challenges faced in your hackathon participation, Venkatesh sir.
Yeah, thanks, Sai. Good points from Vivek on that other side. So I have, no, basically I have a three-pointer that I look at when it comes to how I see possible challenges coming up. So one is I look at a benchmark. So when you take a problem and, you're trying to solve the problem, first thing that people, probably judge you against is what is a human benchmark for it. So for example, when you take transcription as a process, or as a product, you have AWS, Google, a lot of people coming in and giving you transcription engines. But humans today, at a point, they do 98% accurate. They give a 98% accuracy. AWS or a Google transcribe is not giving you the same. And when I create a product which gives me a transcription for let's say a 1 hour audio in 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and a human takes 6 hours for the same, I go and try to sell it to an investor. They say, but still you're not the your product doesn't have the same accuracy as the human, so I'll not be able to take it up. So what is a benchmark that humans have currently set, and whether I can beat that benchmark is an introspection that I need to do before I start with any hackathon or any product. And second is in terms of education. We as technical people, we have a bias within ourselves where we think that everyone understands what we are trying to do, but the truth
Yep.
is they pretend to understand what we are doing, and they'll nod their head and they'll say fine, okay, good, and all that. But they need to be educated in terms of what we are trying to do and how it will impact. What I see a lot happening in hackathons is people come up with the
All right.
presentations. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so people come up with their presentations and hackathons, and they fill them with technical details, but they don't actually go beyond that. Talk about the business impact that the product will have. What is the revenue generation? What is a go-to-market strategy? No, none of that is there. It's all about how good I am at what I do, but they need to probably drive the vision towards the investors or the judges for that matter. And the third thing, which is predominantly a challenge which I see, is an SME bias. So when we deal with a problem, let's say I'm looking at a financial problem, and I'm a developer or a software engineer, I'm not a financial person, and for me to go and take up that problem and try to solve that problem within 24 hours or 36 hours, no, that is not going to be possible, because I don't have the subject matter expertise that is required to solve that problem. So my first step towards solving any problem should be trying to understand where that problem is coming from and why someone has not already solved it, and put myself in an SME shoe, understand that, and probably try to solve it.
Yep, yep, yep.
This would
So
be my experience, or the challenges that I see in a lot of hackathons.
yep, yep, yep. So thanks a lot for sharing that, Venkatesh. Like as you have mentioned it up, like putting ourselves in the shoes of that particular person and visualizing of why this thing has not been done yet. What may be the problem statements? How we can solve that problem statements. So this is, I mean, like literally a good point. So take it ahead. So now, yes, now I would like Harsh to answer the same questions regarding that. Like, what are the challenges, Harsh, you have faced across, and what is that your experience revolved around challenges?
So my experience being a hacker for many of the hackathons has been great up till date. And some of the challenges which I faced was I was unable to prepare a good pitch at last. I was busy developing a product the whole time, but at last I was not able to present it in a better way to to the judges, or we can say the mentors. So because of that reason, I was not able to make it up to the final round of the judging process. So this is an advice from me to the people watching this, that if you are developing a product and if you have people in your team that who are good in making presentation and presenting your product in a better way and creating a pitch which you think can help you win the hackathon, then you should also focus on that. Like keep 1 or 2 hours, minimum 1 hour for creating a pitch for your product, so that you can present that in a better way to the people who are there to judge, or who are there to decide your product is like it can make it or not. Another thing is that when people are developing a product, like if I am developing a website, then I'll be busy developing it on my local host only, and then I'll be deploying it on any of the web servers. So people are busy developing it and they forget to deploy it, and at last they ask for some time extension so that they can deploy it and show to the judges what they have made. So remember this thing, that don't, if you are making a product which is helpful to other people also, and you want other people to use your product, so the thing which you should keep in mind is that you should deploy it just after making, and then you can keep on updating it. So yeah, that was from my side.
Yep, yep. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I mean, like, hey guys, please work on your presentations and all that too adds on a lot to your kitty, because the ultimately end of the day, what you are developing is one part, but how you are showcasing it to the whole world, that's the whole another ball game. So think about that. That's what one of the challenge what Harsh has mentioned. Now, one more question. Again, we are starting it from like Vivek. So tips and tricks for winning to increase the chances of winning a hackathon. What are the tips and tricks from each one of you that will increase the chances of winning a particular hackathon? This is a very good question. So, Vivek, would you like to just come in and speak about it?
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
coming to the tips and tricks, so
Just one
let
small
me.
request. Just Vivek, just one small request. Can you turn on your camera, because we are on live on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah,
So if
great.
it would be there itself. Okay.
Yeah,
And same
sure.
with Venkatesh sir, if at all it is possible, just think around it, right? And it's all okay. It's up to you. So, yep. So yes, Vivek, let's go ahead. Yes,
Yeah,
Vivek.
yeah, sure. So, uh, for the tips and the tricks, so that's one of the things you have been expecting the most, right? So, let me see from a judge's point of view or from a hacker point of view. So, there are three things which makes a presentation or a solution that you're coming up in a hackathon makes it more impressive. So, the first thing is the novelty in your solution. And I think these points are already discussed. I think my talk on this would be just a summarization part. So the first thing is a novelty, and see that how your solution is different from others and how it solves the existing problems and how it makes your problem a unique one. And the second one is the go-to-market strategy. So even though you have a product, if you can't make it push it into a market, so that doesn't really make a sense. So being creating a technical product is one point of view, and really make it in putting into a market is an aspect that you need to really think it of, and that really makes a product complete. So this is the second point, and the third point is what really matters in a hackathon, your pitch. So you need to reflect whatever you have done in form of your presentation. So whatever your 24 hours of work will be evaluated in 3 minutes of your presentation. So imagine that what is how valuable that 3 minutes is. So put in all your efforts in your presentation as well, and make sure that we can understand your solution very much, and we will be able to make the most of it. And always keep an note that this hackathon doesn't end here. It takes much more than that, and you might receive an investor based upon your pitch of this hackathon, or maybe further more than that. So keep that all the perspectives in your mind and the future visions, and then try to come up with a good solution. I think that will really make your solution better than the ones we are really expecting. Yes.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Vivek, for like just putting up that perspective and showcasing how important that 3 minutes are equivalent to the 24 hours which they spend across in the behind. So yeah, now let's move on to, I mean, Venkatesh, would you like to add on any point to this? Tips and tricks for chances on winning any hackathon?
Yeah, so if you are participating in a group hackathon, one the way that I compose my team is I try to look at people who are good at least one thing. It's not just technical. If a person knows to sell, that's the first person that I'll probably bring on to my team. They know to talk. They know to convey my message. They don't have to understand my product, but if they can talk and convince the judges in terms of what kind of impact it can bring to the table, that will be the first person that I'll be roping into my team, not a technical person. A technical person is the person who will stand in the back, and a lot thing that I see is a lot of developers can't actually voice out their opinions or voice out their vision.
Yeah.
And people today, it's as important for you to develop your interpersonal skills as well as your soft skills, as much as you spend time developing your technical skills. You could be the a really good cloud architect, but if you can't explain how your architecture is going to work to senior management, if you can't relate to them, you're not going to sell it. So that's one thing that I see. And second thing is specifically for AI or machine learning for problems, what we see is that people always complain about missing data. And for me, missing data is also, it also has some information hidden in it. For example, if you take a financial or a banking problem, and you have a particular feature called as credit score, and that particular feature is missing, the the point that the feature is missing itself is a information for you. So if a credit score doesn't exist for a person who's with living in a country, then it means that they've been under the radar. And they could be a possible potential fraud, or they're not being tracked. They're an unbanked customer, the risk is high. So these are things that you can probably decipher from the data that is missing in a particular column. Likewise, you need to study the data that you have, see why the data is missing, and if the data is missing, is there some kind of value that you can bring into it. And next is coming back to it, time management. You need to do a study of time versus feature. Uh, you know, what am I going to give? So I have 36 hours. What can I do in this 36 hours? Is it going to be a 10 feature product, or is it going to be one feature which doesn't exist in any of the competitors? So which one should I give? And
Yeah.
if I have a 3-month product, what should I go for? So these are the things that we should look for when we are engaged in a hackathon.
100%, 100% true, 100% true. That the point which you have made it across right now. Shall I go behind the 10 features which are there already existing in the some other place, or like shall I go behind the only one feature which is not existing anywhere else? So even if I'm going behind the 10 features, how am I going to disrupt that 10 features in another way? Whether it be a price point, whether it be something. So this all points we actually need to think across, guys. And most of the time, the safer route to take is like going to like that. What is untapped road, okay, that is like building that one feature which is like not provided in any other one. Because at the end of the day, hackathons are made, and hackathons are happening only because that we want all of you guys to empower yourself and empower this world with something better which is not existing right now. So that's the whole perspective of a hackathon. Just keep that point which Venkatesh sir had shared. Now the same question goes to Harsh, like tips and tricks, and like which will increase the chances of winning a hackathon. Harsh, would you like to hit
So,
the point?
first thing which you should keep in mind that you should start developing a product in which you are good at, or in which your teammates are good at. For example, you are trying to develop a product which in which you have to do coding in Python and you don't know Python, so you cannot learn Python within 24 hours or 36 hours. You need someone who is good in coding in Python, and he can develop a product for you in your team. So you should focus on things which you are good at and start with that. Apart from that, as Vivek also mentioned, that you should have people from different areas in your team. If there are people who are skilled in various different things, then they can make your team good one, and you can divide the work among them. Like someone is doing the front end part, other person is doing the back end part, and the third person is preparing how to present the product to people. So these things are the thing which you should keep in mind. While you can say that these are the tips and tricks, you can keep in mind that for which will help you in winning this hackathon or any other hackathon in general.
Yep. Yep. So now the next question, it is for me actually, especially what Yash had mentioned it across here. It is like, thanks a lot, Harsh, for adding up that all points. And like, please choose a set of like what we say already experienced and already skilled people in your team, rather than just saying that they are my friends, I'm taking them to my hackathon. And end of the day, while taking your friend, but that friend is not knowing anything, it's like I need to work for his part also. It happens. It happens. It happens. At the end of the day, it happens with everyone. Every one of the judges currently, even Venkatesh sir may be smiling off the screen. I can 100% tell that right now. So it happens with every one of us. So yeah, the same thing would be happening with you also. So just make sure only one thing, guys. You have already experienced set of people into your team. When you're going for a like competition, it's a competition, right? When you're going for a war, you need, I mean, actual perfect set of army with you, trained army. It's not like that. It's on the go. We will train you. So let's go ahead and let's fight the war. It's not like that, right? So, yeah. Now let's go. Now, one of the question which Yash had mentioned across to me, how to apply for patent and how to secure our idea. So one simplest answer which I'll give you. Okay, simplest, very simplest. Patents, yes, you can do and you can apply for the patents if at all you are having some different kind of algorithms or some different kind of proprietaries material inside your products. Okay, but just guys, one simple thing: coding. You can't patent the piece of code anywhere because it's a code which has been which can be written by somebody. You can just patent the algorithms and you can patent the products which are end of the day. For example, this is a OnePlus card design. You can patent this design. Okay, or like you can even Jeff Bezos has patented the buy now wala button. Okay, so that buy now wala concept he had patented. You can't patent any kind of a piece of code anywhere. I would love if at all what we say, Venkatesh sir, would you like to add on any points here? Like it can, I mean, how can we patent our code piece? Would you like to add on any point here, Venkatesh sir?
Yeah. So one thing is, unfortunately, we are in India,
Yep.
and that's a big problem for us. If you are from US, you can patent your source code, and if someone is stealing it, or you can even patent your data. So for example, you have these map companies who sometimes hide some bogus locations within their maps, just so
Yes.
that they can sue other people who are stealing the map ideas.
Yep.
These are possible in US, but in India, even if you patent and someone copies, for you to prove that they have copied your idea, it will take you 15 years before the market is disrupted and you spend a ton of money on legal fees. So it's always better to go the white paper route. You have an idea, okay, go write a white paper, tell everyone that it's your idea. And even if someone copies and they develop a product, they have no other go but to attribute the particular algorithm to you. You develop a patent, it's all going to be legal fees, going back and forth to the court. But if it's a white paper, people know that it's you. They are using your and you'll be. It's not just your idea. It's going to be the amount of recognition you're going to get through a white paper that you're going to publish. I'd recommend that over a patent any given day.
Yep, and one more thing, guys, and like I would just like to mention it out. If at all you are going into a kind of one more thing which Yash had mentioned up here, how to secure our idea. Okay, so only one thing you can secure your idea is like talking about that idea to probably million people. Okay, so just speak out about that idea so loud that every one of them knows in the whole world that this idea belongs to this particular guy. Okay, so Tesla, like for example, Tesla is all about like people recognize with the help of Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is the guy who had made Tesla very famous in this whole world. Or like Neuralink. Okay, Neuralink again, Elon Musk had made it very famous. But it is end of the day, like Tesla was someone else company which Elon Musk had invested in and made that company a very big what it is right now. Same goes for Neuralink. Neuralink was a startup in which Elon Musk had funded in. Okay, it was not his pure piece of idea in the very first place. So it is end of the day what belongs to you. If that idea is yours, if Let's Upgrade, the community oriented education is idea of like Cycrin and its team. So that Cycrin and its team has to make sure only one thing, that we do enough innovations, enough like what do we say, go to market strategies and have enough market share coming into us day by day, so that no one else can see that yes, we are starting this work. I will share a classic case of Oyo. When Ritesh Agrawal had started Oyo, so he saw that one more other company just like Oyo has also come into the picture, and they are also building the same idea like Oyo. Okay, and they are also acquiring hotels at, like Oyo used to acquire 2 hotels per week, and they were also onboarding 2 hotels per week at the same point of time. I don't want to mention that competitor's company name at this point of time, but yes, they both were based out of Delhi. And what Ritesh Agrawal got a fire. Ritesh Agrawal got a fire in himself and said that we are doubling down our team of like hotel acquiring, like what is the collaborations, and now we will go 7 hotels per week. That's the way how this whole Oyo is now what Oyo is, and the youngest billionaire of the whole world, Ritesh Agrawal, is like this way. Yep. So he, like, it's the only way to protect your idea is to go speak about that idea to 1,000 people and say that this is my idea, it belongs to me. And at the same time, you have to speak one single great stuff about your ideas. You need to rapidly innovate, implement, deliver. That's it. So if you do these 3 things, fatafat rapidly, that idea belongs to you. Because ideas are very common in this place. Every person going to a shower, like in the shower, the best ideas do comes up. That's the one saying it is. So everyone going for a shower has 100 of ideas, but the only thing which wins at the end of the day is the traction or the execution. Execution wins. Okay, so think about the execution. So that's what it is end of the day, right? So now let us move on to the final question, which we have right now for all the four, like all 4 of us who on the panel right now. It is what Yash is startups on our like what do you say, we all have ideas. Shall we convert each and every idea of ours into a startup, and should we have a proper business model with each and every startup? Because many of you guys are freshers, and many of you guys watching us right now on YouTube also may be having this one question. Okay, we have idea, shall we convert that idea into a startup? Yes or no? If at all we convert that idea into a startup, shall we shall we convert it into a startup which has a business model, or shall we convert it to a kind of open source project which doesn't have any kind of business model? So which route we should select for which kind of products? So this is one of the very simple and very practical question. So every hackathon has a product. That product should go as a startup, or that product should go as an open source. That product should not die at any point of time. This is one standard rule which we all have to make sure. But yes, now I would love to ask this question first to Harsh. Harsh, would you like to go about it? So which kind of idea should be startup and which kind of idea should be open source? And like, yep. I think Harsh, you're not audible. I think you're mute. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. So the idea which you should think that can make up a startup and people could benefit from it and you can earn from it as well. So you should definitely go for a startup phase for that idea. But if you think that an idea is something which will be developing more and more in future, and if more people are contributing to that idea, this idea will be growing to something much bigger. So you should try to keep it as open source. Like for example, if we take an example of Flutter, when Google started developing Flutter, they were unsure because native Android development was on much peak at that time. They were unsure about Flutter, but from the time Flutter was released in its initial phase and people started contributing to it, many people started developing packages from it, and now you may have heard that Google Pay is written from starting in Flutter, and Google is also thinking of converting much more of its app to Flutter rather than native development. So that idea of Flutter was open source. So we can take an example from that. That if people are contributing to that idea and developing it much more, then it will surely be a great open source idea. But if there is something which from which you can earn and people can benefit it from that, then you can go as a startup idea.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Harsh. Vivek, would you like to add on any point into this? Vivek?
Yeah. And coming to the startup idea, so there are multiple ways you can turn your products post the hackathon. So I will talk from my experiences. So either we can sell out to particular companies or industries, or we can make it as a research project or an open source project, or else you can turn it as a startup idea. So there are 3 ways from my side. So these are the ways I had explored from my previous experiences. So when I was in my second year of 4th semester, I think, we had developed a product which can do something. So I don't want to talk about the product. It was for a cotton mill company. It was like an open problem statement given out to us, and we solved that particular problem statement. So post the hackathon, at that time we were not aware of how to turn our products into real market products. So and after a couple of weeks, we were approached by the company stating to like install the product of us in their companies to make it work. We were really not expecting that actually. So actually, it is still now working in that cotton mill. It is a AI based product, and though we are not like a partner of it, so we were like we didn't make money out of it. So we had sold for a particular amount and we left it off. So I think like it's like selling our IP of the product. But it was initial days. We do make mistakes, but we didn't realize the worth of a product at that time. So, but still, I'm happy with it. So it really like it helps around 3,000 small families associated with that. So that's I'm really happy. I'm happy about it.
Wow,
And the thing
amazing.
is that, yeah, thank you. And the other thing is that there are few products where you try to develop in a hackathon, and it has a very peculiar strategy you had implemented it. Let's say that as an unique algorithm or something you had really made a novel product of it, and that is where it makes as a research project. So as Venkatesh said in the previous talk, so patterning in India is really a tough task. But if you are a student, that's really an easy walk of a check. So let me explain the process. If you are a student, you can apply to your university and your pattern will come reach out to you in couple of months. Let's say it will take hardly 9 months to 1 year, and you can really get the pattern for free of cost. So I had applied for one of my patents and it's still on evaluation, and hopefully it will pass through the evaluation process, and I will might be getting my patent around January of 2021. So so that's one of the way you can turn it on. And I have published a couple of research papers where I felt my algorithm was really a strong point on it. And it's published in international journals such as Springer and so on. So that's one point. And coming to startups, I'm not experienced, but still I have sold out few of my products to companies like Honeywell and DXFL and few other companies, startups as well. So I think I have made a sellout point from past startup point of view, but really I hadn't started a startup ever since. But I think we can work it on that point. I think yes.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Vivek, for sharing up that point. It's literally good to, hear out from you that, at a very, what we say, that second year time, you have time frame, you have sold your one of the product, which you built in a hackathon to one of the cotton mill. That's an amazing story. That is itself a kind of motivational factor for every one of us to work. Now, I would like to move on to like Venkatesh's point of view in this. So, Venkatesh, what do you think about shall we turn on our idea to, in a startup or a open source project, or else like even one more, like shall we sell that whole product? So, what is that? From your perspective.
Yeah. So, first thing that when we develop an idea, we go and showcase it in a hackathon platform. A lot of people who are there in that platform are going to think, why didn't I think of this? So that's you have like, a 2 or 3 month window for you to bring your product and, probably secure the idea for yourself. If you don't do that within that time frame, you're going to see a product which is 90% of the time better than what you had conceived it to be. And these people move really fast. So whether you are ready to do that within that 3 month time frame, and if you are, a lot of people forget about the cost that is involved for you to bring a product to the market. It's not just a front end and a back end developer. It's a lot more to that product. You need your user interface and user experience designers. You need people who are capable of selling it to other people. You need people who will do the pre-sales for you, who will do the research in terms of who your customers are and a lot of other things. So for you to bring even a simple product to the market, it's going to put you off by $200 to $250,000. And whether you have that kind of money parked around somewhere, and how much would that make in terms of seed money for you to move about? And is there a person who's ready to invest in that kind of idea? If a person is ready to invest, are they going to become a hostile investor down the line? Whether they're going to buy you out in the future? whether they're going to cut you off your funding down the line, and probably put you into bankruptcy and buy you out. So there are a lot of things when it comes to money. At the end of the day, as much as we like to talk about vision or changing the world, it's all about money. And the people who are putting in the money in terms of investment, they don't want to change the world, they want to make money.
Yep. 110%, Venkatesh. So that's a very big point. Like, even end of the day, like, we have so much of passion, we have so much of like motivation to start something new and all, but retaining that for a longer period of time. Like, see, starting is like very easy, but when it goes, when you are like 1 year down and deep into that, then you will realize that, okay, oh, this thing is actually taking up huge amount of time. And I'm being a kind of like myself being into a startup right now, guys. LetsUpgrade. So we have like so much of like learning, so much of like issues coming in and problems coming in day out. When I pitched this whole idea in Angel Hack, that time it was sounding so good to start. I mean, it still is so good to start and all and to be in. But at the same time, I want to share the other side of the story. Like, each and every day, we get at least 10, 20 problems from somewhere or other. Okay, it will be some small support issues when you are actually into a market of like low margins and high frequency. Okay, we are into that market. So low margins and high frequency, it is like all about customer experiences and all about like retaining your customer, all about like delivering so much of good quality, all about developing good kind of apps and web UIs and all different kind of algorithms which can help them in their learning process and all. So this whole thing, different kinds of teams, lot much of money is involved in it. The seed funding itself is like huge, as Venkatesh sir had mentioned it up. More than $250 is the seed itself, which it takes to start a small scale startup. 100% it took more than that for us to start. And yes, now we are going to be like 7-8 months down into this, and it's a huge learning, but it's not the same how you feel on the day one. It literally like sometimes take up your what we say sleep and all, and it's like, oh shit, and how to come up with this now, how to get out of this. So this is one second angle of get starting into a startup. And now the other angles of like when you should get into open source project is very simple. If whenever you are thinking that, yes, as Harsh had mentioned across there, so Flutter started as a Dart and Flutter as a language, what we say, as an open source language within the internal team members of Google. Now I'm like literally missing out on the name of that person, that lady who had started this Dart and Flutter as a framework to it. So that man had thought about like, okay, let me just build something with Dart and as a static language, as a volatile, what you say, as a dynamic language. But then afterwards, it was like evolving so much so fastly with the help of right set of like people coming in and helping into that project in an open source segment. And that's where it became right now a huge project, which Google had, what we say, Google backed, and now Google is now running the whole show in Flutter. And now Flutter is like literally giving a tight, like it will be giving a very tight competition to the what we say native, like what we say the native developments, like let it be React Native and all other things, all other different frameworks. It will be 100% giving a tight competition towards. But now let us just talk about the third angle. What I mean, Vivek had mentioned. Venkatesh sir had mentioned about the startup, and Harsh had mentioned about hugely largely about open source, and Vivek had mentioned about the third angle, that selling up that idea to some or other company which may be looking towards. I would want to tell this thing: each and every organization is looking for ideas. Each and every organization is betting upon new ideas for generating new revenues, because these are the guys who are already into business, who are already having a customer base, who are already having a set of problems which they want to solve. If your problem statement is directly fitting right into that problem statement and solving it, that's it. Then they will do whatever it takes to like take that idea and take that IP from you. And I would like to share one of my own experience. Hacker Earth had organized hack with Zephyr Tech. Okay, hack with Zephyr Tech in 2017, and I was one of the participant in that. And the whole product which they were, it was full ML based product. And I, along with one of my team member, had participated virtually in that. It was a Kerala based, Zafin Tech is a Kerala based startup, which is very financial service, very big financial services. We made a nice machine learning model for them and integrated with our Android app and all. I'm like literally not allowed to talk right now because I sold the IP to that product for like next 5 years. In 2017, I sold. In 2022, it will end. And these guys are making tons of money with that single product. And now when I see that thing, I was not realizing the scale of what we have built. It is something like it just put up the name of a particular person and it can suggest you what kind of like insurance, like what kind of things can be sold to this person, something like that. And these guys are selling that product to like banks. So as like literally kids in front of these big giant companies, kids, we all are kids. So we never know the potential of what we are thinking of can change the world because we have not seen the other side of the world. So it happened with myself. We got a little piece of money every year. We get something in our bank account, and for 5 years, and these guys are using that product still now. And we although had like what is the opportunity to get onboarded with them as a full team. They were like asking us to like join that and develop that product even more. But it is like end of the day, it's our realize, guys, study about it more, what you are developing, what is the impact it is going to make. Even if Vivek might have known that what's the impact that thing is going to make in the actual industry, he might have not sold it. He might have done something else with that, right? So even I might have done something else with that. So now I'm just thinking, Zapintech took that thing from us and they're selling it to some of the largest banks in India and Mauritius. I'm like, what? This is my product. They are selling it. They have. It's not my product solely. It was like thought is like mine and my one of my friend. But now it's been modified heavily and it's been sold. The base logic remains the same. So now it feels very bad. So end of the day, think about this angle also. And as Venkatesh sir had mentioned, make it a white paper. Shout it so loudly into the whole fraternity that everyone knows that it's yours. So that's what it is, guys. Thanks a lot for listening out to us from like last 1 hour, and it's like good interaction, and we have still 30 people sticking around with us. And like I have seen lot many people coming in, going out, coming in, going out. That means at least some, like all the people have at least came in and went out. But now if we see the YouTube thing, there are at least there are also constant viewers are been increasing. So yeah, thanks a lot all the judges for being live right now, and that's what the end of our point panel discussion on what is that we are expecting and what are the suggestions for the participants are. So Harsh, would you like so Yash, would you like to mention any other like okay, now one of the question live question is how to write a white paper, any suggestions or good source? Venkatesh sir, I would like to route this question to you because I have least experience with white papers. So please, would you like to help this questions answer? Venkatesh sir?
Yeah, sorry, I just had a call in the middle.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
So first thing that you need to be looking at is, you need to look at the originality of your idea. How original is the idea? And see, for you to write a white paper, it's going to be peer reviewed. So when you say peer reviewed, it's not people who are like, at the same level as us. It's going to be academicians. One thing is that you need to look at it from an academic perspective. What kind of learning is it going to give to the people who are reading your white paper? Where does your algorithm stand when compared to other benchmarks that you have? So for example, if you take a machine learning model and you're doing a natural language generation model as of today, you need to compare it with other models that are out there. You need to say, okay, fine, this is the improvement that I've brought in. These are the parameters that I've changed in the model that I built as of today. And this is the expected accuracy, or this is the expected outcome that you can see. And you also need to tell what is a further area of research that needs to happen. You need to give some form of guidance to the next person who will pick up the research. So your white paper is not a start or an end. It's just a journey. It's a journey which someone else will continue probably 100 years down the line. We never know. So
Yeah.
you write it and you forget it, but the story will continue. So that's something that I want to say about white papers.
Wow, this is literally good. Thanks a lot for sharing this, Venkatesh sir. So now, yeah, one of the question again to Venkatesh sir, as Venkatesh sir belongs to like AIML area. So what to showcase in working demo in ML projects? Even Vivek and everyone can take up on this thing. So I would like literally request Venkatesh sir, like what is that one thing, sir, which you will be looking in terms of machine learning projects today in the judging?
One thing that I'll not look for is code. So don't show me the code, because if all of us know that everyone knows to code, and whether you've used a for loop or a while loop, it doesn't make a difference as at the end of the day for me as a customer. How good is your model predicting? How much of time is it taking between predictions? how robust is the model, how many errors is it throwing out to me. Those are the things that we'll be looking for. Your accuracy can be 20%, your accuracy can be 25%, it doesn't matter. But how are you presenting your model? Your model can be improved any day, but how you present it to your customers, that's what is going to matter.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I mean, Vivi, would you like to add on any other point to it?
I think that was a perfect answer that any judge would expect from AI or ML based product. And yeah, as he said, it is not the accuracy; it's what we are looking for. It can be improved in any point of time, but it is a model that can make a really good difference in your product. So if that your ML model is really good enough to be a novel feature of your product, that is what you are expecting. That's it.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Vivek. And like any other questions which we are having here? Yeah, so that's it, guys. We are not having any other questions you are having. Just you can put it up right across in the chat, and our judges are here to guide you and suggest you regarding the same. So, any other questions? I will just count on till like next. Like I think one of the question is here on the machine learning take. Is feature engineering is a challenge? I mean, Venkatesh sir and Vivek, would you like to get into this? Is feature
It's a really fun thing to do, feature engineering. I always look at it as an opportunity. How do I scale the 10 features that I have into 300 or 400, and how do I cut it back down to probably 20 or 30 that I can use? So it's not essentially a challenge. So it goes back to the point that I mentioned about being a subject matter expert or learning about the actual industry that you're working in. So you do, let's say, a 4 or 5 hour research, learn the industry that you're working in. You're going to come up with more features that you probably wouldn't have conceived about when you started the project.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Venkatesh sir. And any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Any other questions? All the people who are there live currently. I was like, shall we wrap it up? Like, yes or no? Just please tell me this thing so that we can hold it on, or else like we will. All done, guys. All good to go. Yes. All good to go. Making clarification, that is a kind of like hackathon related question. Any question which you are having with our judges, in their domain area specifically, so please let us know right now in the chat so that I will give you the video making clarification. The video making clarification, it has to be 5 minutes video, and it was mentioned that you all have to shoot regarding your idea. What is your base idea which you are working towards? What is the current progress, and showcase your demo, like actual working of that thing. So these are the only three things which are expected out in any demo video. Okay, and that video can be hosted on YouTube, or that video can be hosted on your Facebook or Twitter or anywhere, and LinkedIn. Just give us the link to that in the form which will be provided to you in a little while. Okay, guys. So now, just having said and done these all things, we would love to end this session right now, and we will.
And one
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
at the this hackathon, what you are making these projects, all these things we will be judging evening 3 p.m. and the 5 p.m. Like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We will be asked what is that idea, what is your make your business model, whether you start up, whether you having more idea but it's not making any business model, it's completely waste. So like you see that you have to be prepared with some try your best to make some business model. Just think about it, and these things just these are the things to aware for you. These sessions we are conducting, that's main thing. And so many hackathons I was seen, I was also went, but they will be at last they will be asked that product, that how you will make the money. Every human needs the money to survive. So how to make, how to approach, that's it's very different. And what how you will be go, that's a thing. Every hackathon they will be asked that whether at the end of the day whether your project is making the money, or it is implemented, it exists, that what is the differentiated to the existing products. That thing are very very important. These are the things will be winning the chances of winning. And if you are win this, if you're not winning this hackathon, just okay, no problem, we may not be the know what are the right things. So just present it the your idea. If you are believe your idea is very important, just get that just go that idea, go that research on that and present it, one not two, like Saker and like another judges are why they are going the 50 and 70 hackathons, because they are developing their idea, and they are every hackathon, every hackathon they are developing day to day, and they are like to make that this today you are seeing the Let's Upgrade everything. It's like they like these hackathons they went and they started these like products, and they learned what are the things they are missing, and these are the things just to keep in mind. And we are asking also at the judging point what are the business model. It's not compulsory, if you can say it is the like value added point. That's the thing I want to say.
Yep.
uh,
Guys, one more thing, like just add on to your like administration perspective, we will be like rolling out a finalized sequence of all the teams will be presenting at 3 p.m. So it's going to be a 5 minutes pitch to the internal teams, who will internal judging, which will happen by the Let's Upgrade tech team. So yes, you all will be like presenting to the tech team, and those will be the guys who will be judging you on your all the pointers, and we will be shortlisting 5 to 7 to maximum on the marks. Like we have a minimum threshold marks who will be like more than that. These teams will be like getting an opportunity to present in front of the final judges. So that's what it is, guys. And just having by 2 p.m. you should have that list into your particular Discord and the mails. Okay. So this will be containing your particular sequence. You need to confirm it back. Our people will be even calling you and getting the confirmation so that we can take it out. Okay. Is it clear, every one of you? All the participants who are there in the live, I mean, like in the Zoom right now? All the participants? Should I look into that? Yep. Yes or no? Just please tell me this yes or no. Even in private, it is okay. So yes, now I'm seeing few private messages coming in. Okay. So yes, it's totally fine. Chalo, thanks a lot. Bye bye, guys. Take care. Have a nice day. Thanks a lot, judges, for joining in and sharing your perspective on all the hackathon pointers. So, and we will be meeting at 6 p.m., right? 6 p.m. is the judging, right? Yashwant, final judging.
yes, that's 3 p.m. it will be start, it will be end. We see that
Yes,
how
3 p.m.
it will be.
internal, and by 5:30 we will be ending our internal thing
Yes, yes, yes.
results, and 6 p.m. we will call our judges on board, and they will be starting their final judging points.
The shortlist just shortlisted the spoilers.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, all the judges, and we'll be meeting at 6 p.m. near about, and by 5:30, 6 p.m. Yep. Thanks
Sure,
a lot.
sure.
All the
Thanks.
best. Compliments.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.